Good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan Van Eaton, Art 402, spring semester of 2023, final presentation for M1.7, the Hive. Uh, this approach was simply following evolutionary iterations from a basic shape of figure ground to a full-scale detail mat building pattern. I drew the initial sketches and chose the shape I would base everything on. 60 by 30 degree shape presented a very complex set of angle and spatial use priorities and proved difficult to navigate. My initial mat site layout gave a very interesting common space shape which weaved an inviting path between the solid masses of the units. However, the angle of the back patios and the mass marriages did not seem to work, and the unique shape of the unit was lost in the squared off common spaces. You can see it's intriguing common space here, but we realized it was just there's square and then the angles and it needs to flow better. The network of units was originally designed with three different types of inhabitants in mind. On the north end of the community were 5 units designed for a single inhabitant. In the middle of the community were 6 single bedroom apartments designed with 1 or 2 people who work from home. And of course, on the south side, there were 7 small family 2-bedroom units designed for with younger or small multi-generational families in mind. Those are these down here. These units were separated by a common space uh, with a 15 by 20 utility building and a 25 by 20 rectangular courtyard centered by a fountain, and it was double ringed with bench work for sitting. There were 2 long tree-lined entry corridors, and then a large 30 by 60 covered playground. See that here? That was right here. After the initial analysis, a completely different scheme emerged, and that's my initial isometric grouping. This is my updated floor plan, and initially I had a shade here over the patios, but I took that away because I knew there was going to be, I realized there was going to be trees within the property. So um, I just took the shade away and just attached a louvered outcropping, I guess, over the top of the patio, just to provide a little bit of shade from the afternoon sun. There's section A and section B. After the initial analysis, a completely different scheme emerged, and the site layout transferred in what I hope is a better solution for the common space. There's my worm view, my sky view. And these are the 2 interior light study views, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And the section cut view with the furniture and the appliances. And as you can see, here's my updated site plan. The common spaces take on the same angles as the units. And even though it's a 40 by 40 square unit, the angles transmit into the common spaces. So the service building and fountain are now constructed with the same 30 by 60 degree scheme as the units. As you can see, here's the service building and here's the fountain. And they're still has the double ring of benches on the outside of it. The entirety has become more symmetrical but allows the unique angles to continue throughout the formation. The open common spaces are a garden and a playground, both covered by a louvered canopy and has benches lining each side, as you can see here. This is the playground and this is a garden. And they're topped with a louvered, wooden canopy. There's a broad entry on either end of the garden and playground on the east and the west, And these paths here, sorry, these paths here, there's a gate on the end of each one. So it's a semi-private entry. The inhabitants, they'd be able to come in and out of here. It's probably be a locked or a keypad. Um, but that prevents a lot of street traffic from coming in here, and it allows this to be the main buffer of people coming in and out of the property. And you can see the path, and it still came up with a pretty interesting path, even though it's more symmetrical. And of course, there's my interior views of the perspective views of the common spaces. You can see the louvered canopy, the benches, and up there's a garden. You know, this is looking from the garden down to the playground, and this is from where the playground up to the and you can it's looking into the property. You can see the windows of the various units. So, thanks for watching, and good luck for the rest of the semester.